Hello, good evening and welcome to Camnet Television Main News. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Our top stories in the news tonight: 60-year-old bedridden woman of LUSAKA'S MTENDERE compound receives help. Councilors on the COPPERBELT bemoan low salary grade. Bad roads in northwestern province, a ticking time bomb charges CARITAS. In international news, East African leaders demand ceasefire between Congo and Rwanda. And in sports news, Chelsea back on the top of WSL after beating Tottenham.
On Monday, 16th February 2023, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba with his guest, Ambassador Anton Mukwita.
Country which is 750,000 square kilometers, about 2 million of that land in hectareage is arable. We also have one of the biggest resources needed for agriculture. That is 60% of the water in the southern African region is in Zambia.
As they discuss Zambia's 2023 governance issues.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Hello again, another news in detail. Well-wishers have responded to a distress call made by neighbors of a 60-year-old woman in LUSAKA'S MTENDERE Section D area who suffered a stroke and was being bathed by her 31-year-old son. Speaking to Camnet News, Pause of the Aged Foundation Head of Media Operations Laishi Musakanya says the organization has responded with various goods worth 600 kwacha as an emergency action aimed at fending for the old woman in the short term. He has, however, called on other well-wishers to come on board and help the old woman, stating that the charity organization is limited in funds. On 1st of February 2023, Camnet News carried out a story of the said old woman who was reportedly being bathed and fended for by her son after allegedly being abandoned by her 2 daughters. More in this report.
The story of a 60-year-old woman, Mwanitengela Banda of LUSAKA'S MTENDERE Section D compound, is one that has touched the hearts of many, as her 31-year-old son, David Zulu, has been left with the task of bathing her as well as changing her diapers after she was allegedly abandoned by her other 2 female children. Camnet News on 1st February 2023 carried the said story, in which neighbors reported that the 2 female daughters always showed up to collect rent from the low flat that she owns while locking their mother in the house and going out to drink beer, a situation which saw her son taking the role of caregiver and depending on handouts to fend for his mother. A non-governmental organization, Pulse of the Aged Foundation, has responded to the plight of the old woman with emergency food and various items like diapers worth 600 kwacha. Speaking to Camnet News, organization head of media operations Laishi Musakanya, who was speaking on behalf of organization executive director Biba Makungu, says the woman will also be assigned 6 caregivers to offer her personal care on a daily basis.
We'll be coming here to visit her on daily basis to perform her duties, personal care, like e.g. bathing, changing diapers, washing clothes and linen, cleaning the house, surrounding, etc. Cooking and physio support. We will also engage her family and hear her story.
The said caregivers have committed to diligently care for her.
So tingopempa jabe kuli bantu amene bangatiyanganire kwa amene bangatithandize tili willing maniki tifuna kusebenza inchito kuyanga ndi abazibrotu bantu anabala bana muno muzika amene muona muli bana manyumba betezo pito zipesa tumtanda bana wake bulubwe but saba ikanzero azimayi bawo saba chita chiti chose like maweta bwelera pano bali bana bambiri singa bati tamba kusukambali so ife tabwera kutisha banje tigwire nchito amene
na tubafumya ko na panse twakulaisa mukuba trainer na masajari yonse twakulaba itamolu twabolola ko filafine treba itako training pakuti amoru yale ololo kana amenso bantu ngabayikala sana munganda amenso kuti yaona ika so pala na mwana na tubafumya panse kulinga na ife bale tusambilisha ku training ekotwaire
awo sikomo kwambiri namikira pavosi pani bachita uzimaya sikomo kwambiri pembe kuti munhu ngavadalisa pembe akona wonse amene vamvera notandizira na vanhu vasevenzera vazimai angavatandizireko.
Hassan David Zulu says concerned stakeholders should help in resolving the problem of his alleged unruly sisters.
But my sisters vanga walibe mtima wamushongala na bantu ndaba we muntu waona ati bantu abwira panyumba tanizira makolo wanu funika bantu wapasa uli mwapasa respect so funiko ikapo futara ikapo ntota fukanda wa mwami wa hiya bantu ni bantu manje bantu wapotanizira makolo wanu wakaenda aza watandiza ndani kulibe.
The non-government organization says there is still need for other well-wishers to assist the old woman as they are limited in funds. Zipora Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Street vendors at CEASEFIRE market in Lusaka's Kaunda Square, Stage 1, have defied the directive by the area member of parliament, Mike Mposha, that they should all move into the market. A check by Camnet News at the market Sunday found some traders trading from the streets, while only a few had occupied the market space. Some of the traders found in the market have complained that if the matter is not urgently addressed, they will be left with no option but to equally move on the street so that they can also have customers buying their goods. Meanwhile, area councillor Lubasi Milopi, when contacted over the matter, says the traders are being forced to come out of the market due to lack of a dump site for waste and electricity in the market. More in this report.
Here we have given them a 5 days ultimatum, which is ending on Sunday. Sunday we are bringing both the state and the council police officers to ensure that everybody trades in a permitted trading place.
Despite the Munali Member of Parliament Mike Mposha giving a 1-week ultimatum to street vendors at CEASEFIRE market of Lusaka's Kaunda Square Stage 1 to move into the market which they have abandoned in preference to street vending, the vendors have defied the directive and have continued to trade from the streets. A check by Camnet News Sunday morning found the market almost empty, while some traders were found still trading from the streets. The traders who were found in the market interviewed by Camnet News have explained that the local authority is responsible for allowing the traders to trade from the streets, adding that if the authority had imposed strict measures, the traders could not have been leaving the market to go on the streets.
Basi wanamashosa papa sawa manje wayi alepera kutosa zimaya aba kapena tonse tichoke panje vati thandiza boma kuti tonse muno tichoke tikamange market panja kaina ise tifunapo valokomboka vafukira panja ise muno tijama
amaike konzero vantu vonse vangeni tifuna tonse tikafutikira pamoja tonse tina vana va skulu nite vana vamashiye vamuna vanatiya bati tikwanisa kujesa vanhu beve vafuna chave ndiye vaminaina pakuzochoka pano.
Ife ndisivantu tikanasa tizigulisa tisipereka vana kusikolo sikuti vebeveka ndiye vali na vana vonse tili na vana vonse tisunga mafamilies tikangala vonse muno timagulisa.
Meanwhile, Munali Ward 38 Councillor Lubasi Milupi, when contacted, told this reporter that the market lacks a dump site for waste and electricity, which has been prompting some traders to trade from outside the market.
Confirm to you that yes, we have a problem with these traders. Some of them, they come out in the market as early as 13, 14 hours, but they've also given us a reason that you understand it needs to be worked on. They have nowhere where to throw garbage from, and even the writing system in the market, there are no rights. So we have submitted everything to Lusaka City Council. We're just waiting for Lusaka City Council engineering department to come and work on the writing in the market, as well as the refugee bin behind, so that they can have where to throw garbage.
And efforts to get a comment from the area member of parliament, Mike Mposha, proved futile as his phone was switched off. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Villagers in Kasenga ward of Chongwe district in Lusaka province have taken it upon themselves to begin constructing teachers' houses around Kasenga Danai Basic School using red pan bricks to help in solving the crisis of teacher accommodation. Speaking to Camnet News, Kasenga Ward Councillor Bright Sacholi explains that most teachers at the school depend on bicycles to get to work, adding that this leads to teacher absenteeism, especially during the rainy season, as most roads leading to the school become nearly impassable. The councillor adds that the status quo shows the need for the government to urgently address the lack of adequate housing accommodation for teachers, especially in rural areas. More in this report.
The lack of easy access to decent accommodation for teachers is a problem that has been existing for many years, leading to many of them living far away from their schools and missing lessons at times, such as in cases where roads become impassable during the rain season, especially for those in rural areas. This problem has been arising from the few available houses near schools. A case in point is Kasenga Dene Basic School in Kasenga Ward of Chonge District in Lusaka Province, which only has 5 teachers' houses against 16 teachers at the school. Area Councillor Bright Sacholi says this makes it difficult for many teachers who use bicycles to make it for work after a heavy downpour, not by choice, but due to the deplorable roads leading to the school, coupled with the long distance.
Some of the teachers are staying very far, and then it's a challenge. The teachers are staying far to come and teach, because there's a lot of absenteeism, not because of they want to be absent, but because of the challenge of transport movement to reach here. So I'm appealing to the public if they can come on board so that they can help us to enhance, to develop most of our school teachers.
He states that community members in the ward therefore came up with an initiative of constructing a 1x2 teachers' house to cushion the housing deficit. He, however, states that community members are short of 150,000 kwacha to finish the construction of the 2 houses.
So as you can see, this which is under construction is community participation. I remember very well our able parent for Kasenga, they managed to mold these same bricks. It's about I think 9,000 in total. And these are same bricks which the community now are contracting this 1x2 teachers' house. So indeed, we are facing a lot of challenges in terms of our teachers' accommodations.
While government is also trying to solve the deficit of teachers' houses, the councillor says initiatives from community members deserve financial support from all well-meaning Zambians as they complement government efforts. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Chongwe District.
Councillors on the Copperbelt have lamented over the poor conditions of service despite the amount of work they are subjected to in communities. Speaking at the burial of the late Councillor Maureen Walia Saturday, Masala Ward Councillor Adronikas Ngulube says councillors every day handled long queues of people at their homes seeking for help, yet they are living under very difficult circumstances. She says the late Miss Walia has been buried at a low-class grave because her family could not afford to bury her at high cost despite having saved the people in her area. Meanwhile, Buntungwa Ward Councillor Matthews Simokoko has appealed to President Hakainde Hichilema to look into the welfare of the councillors. More in this report.
Whether it is economic development, safety, health, environmental quality, or other matters, civic leadership and community partnership can lead to lasting solutions that best represents the values and desires of each particular community. The working conditions of civic leaders in Zambia, however, leaves much to be desired, despite being voted for in office and the huge responsibility on their shoulders. Civic leaders on the Copperbelt Saturday, however, lamented over the poor service of condition they are subjected to, despite handling a lot of community concerns. The civic leaders who spoke at the burial of Chililawombwe Councillor Maureen Walia cited that their colleague has been buried at a low-cost grave because a family could not afford a high-cost grave, despite her having served as a civic leader.
Consent cemetery, but the family could not afford, neither the council that we are coming from can afford to bury us from those high-cost cemeteries. Now, our question is, why is it that councillors are not recognized We still get 410 kwacha for transport refund and sitting allowances. This 410 has been there for past 20 years. But things keeps on changing. How much are we buying a liter of fuel?
Still, like my sister alluded, we were getting 700 kwacha. And the PF came into power and they started giving us 3,000 kwacha. There was an increment. I'm from UPNG. Now the guys from the other camp, let me mention our brothers and sisters from PF.
Integrated for so long. Remember that CDF has come with its own responsibility. Honestly speaking, from the first day of a month to the last day of a month, are we going to manage our communities with a 3,000 kwacha? No. Honorable councillors, we stand here to hear our grievance, and we know the president somewhere is listening.
They have since called on President Hakainde Hichilema to urgently intervene in the matter.
We want to take this message to His Excellency, the President. We know he's a very able and capable president. Previously, I happen to be one of those that served in the previous council. We were getting 700, and the PF government recognized that they increased from 700 to 3,000, which is nothing now. And we are hoping that the president will consider us. Following his promises, we are very much about to the fact that our president promised that he will revise the conditions of services for the councillors.
Members of Parliament from both the ruling UPND and the opposition in October of 2022 agreed that councillors' condition of service be upgraded. This was after Kanchiria PF Member of Parliament Sande Chanda moved a private member's motion seeking to improve councillors' condition of service. After debates in support of the motion by lawmakers from both sides of the House, there was agreement on the matter. It now remains up to the recently operationalized Emolument Commission to look into the condition of service for the councillors. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
CARITAS Zambia Solwezi Project Officer Louis Mianda has expressed concern over the status of roads in Northwestern Province. Speaking at a media briefing Sunday, Mr. Mianda says apart from the province having roads which are in bad shape, there is also lack of development. Mr. Mianda has cited Mwinilunga Road as one of the economic roads which has remained in a deplorable state with little intervention from government. He says there is urgent need to reconstruct Mwinilunga Road in order to enhance the movement of goods and services.
The people of Northwestern Province will be talking about roads. We thought that maybe the province was predominantly opposition these years back, and we thought maybe that's why maybe we never had a good deal in terms of road infrastructure in the province. But even in the New Dawn government, the party that has been supported overwhelmingly by the people of Northwestern Province, we seem to be stuck. We seem not to go anywhere. Road to Mwinilunga. Mwinilunga district is an economical district. Towards the end of last year, we saw the president commissioning the fruit factory in Mwinilunga. You can get your fruits and take them to Mwinilunga for processing. So, how are you going to take your tomatoes there? Which road are you going to use? How long will it take you to take these fruits to Mwinilunga? Mind you, fruits, they rot easily. Okay, so you have your ripe tomatoes, you have your ripe pineapples. By the time you reach Mwinilunga, if you are going to take 3 days, then your tomatoes are rotten. So you have no deal in such an area.
Solwezi Central Member of Parliament Stafford Mulusa has disclosed that government has released 1.6 million kwacha towards the upgrading of Kazomba Clinic into a first ever mini hospital in the district. Mr. Mulusa says the health facility, once operational, will see a reduction in the number of referrals to Solwezi General Hospital. He says government remains committed towards the provision of quality health services and bringing it closer to the people. The area member of parliament said this when he addressed UPND party officials at Tumvanangai Primary School on Sunday.
So, Kazomba Clinic through Jawama Ward, we got 1.5 million. 1.5 million Kazomba Clinic. We have free commission. It's a small clinic. You get a new hospital. Now, we have a doctor. We have a fee for Kazomba. Kazomba now wanted admit. The maternity room. Na yuka nambi ya kura yeroke kwa mtu mbangana watu mbangana inge pati watu wa benefit mu 2022 yeru wa benefit except the benefit geti chukuro kushia dewe namona most of the benefit is abroad sign maybe kwa you benefited 4 kilometers.
A human rights advocate, Christopher Shalwa-Vala, says the new statutory instrument, SI number 76 of 2022, aimed at encouraging positive road user behavior may breed room for police corruption if not properly implemented. In an interview, Mr. Shalwa-Vala says while the move to enhance road safety is applauded, the current state of the SI makes it easy for pedestrians to bribe police officers, as the penalty fee of 300 kwacha for some offences such as crossing the road with earphones is too high. He has therefore called for the penalty fees to be revised downwards to make them more realistic. He further notes that it should be made clear whether this law will be implemented by the Road Transport and Safety Agency (RWANDA) or the Zambia Traffic Police Unit to avoid confusion. The newly effected SI number 76 of 2022, among other things, prohibits pedestrians from crossing the road with earphones on or while talking on the phone, and prohibits bus drivers from picking up or dropping passengers at undesignated bus stops.
But the problem is with the implementation, and how I wish that government would have thought and clarified who to implement this law, so that at the end of the day we can have a win-win situation. Believe me or not, much as we can be excited that no, this SI has been brought on board and it is going to regulate the behavior of the pedestrians who are fond of crossing the roads whilst putting on earphones, if you like. It is also a problem when it comes to how it is going to be handled. For example, many times in our country we are only talking about the Zambia Police Force or Zambia Police Service whenever there is a law that has been signed. And we are also talking about the RWANDA, road traffic safety, that is supposed also to come in and help the Zambia Police Service. But my worry is when it comes to the Zambia Police Service. This is a wing in Zambia that most people think that is very corrupting. I want to cite an example of a person maybe is trying to cross the road and then is playing high music with the earphones or headsets, if you like. And when that person is avoiding to be arrested by the Zambia Police Service, if you like, it will be very easy for that person just to remove a kickback of maybe like a 50 kwacha or 100 kwacha, and by so doing, and the police would also accept it.
A child rights activist, Kasupa Samakai, has appealed to traditional leaders to make sure that traditional girl-child initiation ceremonies do not undermine girl-child education. Female initiation ceremonies involve the process of educating a girl-child who reaches puberty stage about womanhood, teaching them about respect, cultural and traditional values, and sexual matters. And Mr. Samakai notes that some girls, when they undergo initiation ceremonies, do not go back to school, a situation he described as unfortunate. He has therefore called on traditional leaders to play a critical role in making sure that girls are able to go back to school. He says if a child is to compete, if a girl child is to compete favorably against a boy child, all the barriers to education must be resolved.
Our appeal to our traditional leaders, especially those in rural areas, is please look into this issue of when a girl child comes out of the traditional teachings or when they undergo traditional teachings. Let's make sure that we encourage the community to take back the girl child back to school. Because reports indicate that mostly when the girl child undergoes the traditional teachings by the traditional teachers who are commonly known as Wanachimbusa, most of them, they stop going to school and they go for marriage. So I find that this has also contributed to girls not doing well at the school, and some have even contributed to high numbers of school dropouts among the girl child. So for us to attain quality education and also to see to it that the girl child attends class, we have to encourage the girl child to come back to school after they undergo the traditional teachings that they normally undergo.
This is Camnet Television Main News. We take a break. We'll be back with more news.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
You know I can take her a bit.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry, man. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
Cabbages, onions, maize, potatoes, tomatoes, chilies. At Rainglow, we supply great quality irrigation for the mentioned crops and more at an affordable price. Get our 2,000 meter flat drip for as low as 2,900 kwacha, or our 500 meter round hose for 1,300 kwacha. Customize your own spacing with our 500 meter blank round hose going for 1,200 kwacha, ideal for orchards such as avocado, mango, banana, oranges, etc. Rainglow Irrigation, best quality, best price.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. The Southern African Center for the Constructive Resolution of Disputes, SACOD, says Zambia's peaceful status is an asset that should be showcased to the international community as one way of attracting investors. Speaking to Camnet News, SACOD Executive Director Boniface Chembe states that there is need for the country to realize that this is an asset that can not only be utilized to bring about the much-needed national development, but also employment creation. He, however, warns that this status should not be taken for granted, but should be safeguarded for the benefit of future generations. Zambia is currently sitting at number 56 out of 163 countries worldwide as by the end of 2022, having gone up by 17 steps from number 71 in 2021, according to the Global Peace Ranking, GPI.
Zambia, comparatively speaking, is a peaceful nation, and to that extent, we need to continue showcasing the manner and the extent to which we are peaceful, so that this helps attract as much investments as possible in the nation, which is critical in terms of economic progress and development in the country, and so that more jobs can be created and more monies can be in circulation in the country. So the levels of peace are commendable. What we always caution our SACOD is never to sit on our laurels, but always continue to ensure that we put deliberate measures to strengthen the extent to which levels of peacefulness prevail in the nation.
Economist Emmanuel Zulu has charged that the move taken by government to review the Postal Services Act is likely to lead to enhanced competition and quality of service delivery in the sector. Mr. Zulu says government's move to reduce license fees by 50% on courier services licensing following the review of the Postal Services Act No. 22 of 2009 should be applauded and welcomed by concerned citizens. He says due to the high courier service license fees that existed in the past, a number of local businesses were excluded from the market and was instead dominated by foreign entities on a large scale. Mr. Zulu says the world is transitioning at a very fast rate following the advancement in technology, and says with the passage of time, both domestic and international trade has gone digital. He says the move will lead to increase in trade and job creation within this sector. Thursday, Science and Technology Minister Felix Mutati announced the slashing of the courier service licensing by 50% effective 2023.
You know, courier services plays as a role in actually enhancing trade. And today, you know, because of these digital platforms, people are able to transact online. But there is need, you know, for delivery of goods that have been procured, you know, from one place to the other. It could be from one town to the other. So now that we have these license fees reduced, we are actually hoping to see more players come on the market to formalize and also win the confidence of customers and enhance trade, you know, and the fact that, you know, most people now can buy things online from, you know, across borders, you know, using, you know, certain platforms such as Alibaba and others, you get to see that with the formalization of these courier services and postal services, we'll get to see that the competition will be enhanced, even the quality of service delivery will be enhanced. And definitely, ultimately, it will actually lead to increase in actually trade.
The Japanese International Cooperation Agency, JICA, through its technical support to the Extended Community-Based Irrigation Support, COPPERBELT, is encouraging farmers to consume a variety of foodstuffs in right quantities by adopting the Tebakari Iyayuho hand method that is being promoted by the project. Speaking during the validation meeting held at Nomad's Court Lodge organized by JICA, the JICA project coordinator Nagino Ai-san said the hand scale measurement the Japanese use, if adopted, will help the general public to consume what they require for maintaining good health and help to combat non-communicable diseases such as diabetes and high blood pressure. And officiating at the review meeting, the Ministry of Agriculture Principal Food Processing Preservation Storage Officer Mulele Sibeso said the Tebakari Iyayuho hand scale measurement of food is in line with the operational guidelines on food and nutrition interventions in the agricultural sector formulated by the government of the Republic of Zambia. Mr. Sibeso encouraged farmers and the general public to adopt the hand scale measurement of food in order to maintain good eating habits and avoid food wastage. Details in the following report.
It is the mandate of the Minister of Agriculture to contribute to the improved nutritional status of the people of Zambia through implementing nutritional sensitive programs and interventions. The Japanese International Cooperation Agency, JICA, through its technical support to the Extended Community-Based Irrigation Project (COPPERBELT), is being implemented in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture by supporting farmers to construct simple weir irrigation and also promoting nutrition activities in the districts that are implementing the program. Jen Mono, who is Senior Nutrition Officer for Northwestern Province, now explains.
The objective of this project is to review or to verify the Tebakari Iyayuho, which is a hand scale method. It's a component which is introduced under nutrition, where we are trying to promote the use of hands to measure our foods.
Nagino Ai-san, who is the JICA project coordinator, explains the purpose of the meeting.
What is Tebakari Iyayuho? Actually, Tebakari Iyayuho is originally from Japan. When we measure the amount of food or amount of nutrient, we try to use our hand.
And Mr. Mulele Siveso is the Principal Food Processing Preservation and Storage Officer, explains the importance of Tebakari AU.
We are doing so for the purpose of producing food, which is going to be consumed at the end of the day. And that's why the component on nutrition was introduced.
JICA, through its technical support to the Extended Community-Based Irrigation Project, ECOBS, currently being implemented in 28 districts throughout the country. Reporting, I'm Sophia Musonda.
Government has disbursed 2.5 million kwacha to the Ministry of Agriculture in Southern Province to liquidate personal emoluments owed to retirees and deceased former employees. Acting Southern Province Agricultural Coordinator Paul Nyambe said the personal emoluments paid to the retirees and the deceased include terminal benefits and repatriation. Mr. Nyambe told the National Agricultural Information Services NAIS at the Sumpoko House in Choma that the other personal emolument paid to the former employees is long service bonus. He expressed happiness for government's commitment to liquidate the personal emoluments dating as far back as 1998. And Acting Senior Executive Officer Nicholas Manda said the mode of payment was through personal bank accounts for the beneficiaries and checks.
Government has disbursed 2.5 million kwacha to the Ministry of Agriculture in Southern Province to liquidate personal emoluments to the retirees and deceased former employees. Acting Southern Province Agriculture Coordinator Paul Nyambe said the personal emoluments paid to the retirees and the deceased include terminal leave benefits, long service bonus, and repatriation.
We are thankful to the government that already, towards the end of 2022, 2,517,855 kwacha 79 ngwe was disbursed to the province to take care of all those retirees from the period 1998 up to somewhere around 2015. So that's quite a long range. It's those retirees and indeed the deceased whose terminal leave benefits have been met from this amount. Also those who had the long service bonus outstanding.
And Acting Senior Executive Officer Nicholas Manda said the mode of payments was through personal bank accounts for the beneficiaries and checks.
In terms of the mode of payments, we looked at people who had all the details required for these payments. For those that submitted their account details, money was sent direct to their accounts. And then those that were the challenges to acquire their account details, we had to use the check process.
And Provincial Accountant Leonard Mudenda categorized the payments as terminal benefits at 967,000 kwacha, long service bonus at 931,000 kwacha, repatriation at 204,000 kwacha, and taxes that amounted from various terminal assessments that were done at 415,000 kwacha.
Under terminal bills, the office managed to pay to a tune of 967,000. Then under long service bonus, the office managed to pay 931,000. And also on repatriation, the office managed to pay 204,000 kwacha.
Reporting, Lawrence Kabuto in Choma.
We'll take our second and final break. Join us for more news after the break.
On Monday, 16th February 2023, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba with his guest, Ambassador Anton Mukwita.
Country which is 750,000 square kilometers, about 2 million of that land in hectareage is arable. We also have one of the biggest resources needed for agriculture. That is 60% of the water in the southern African region is in Zambia.
As they discuss Zambia's 2023 governance issues.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. And now in international news, Secretary General of the EAC, Peter Matuki, said there must be immediate ceasefire by all political parties in Rwanda and the DRC. The calls follow international concern the two countries could slide into an all-out conflict as they did in the late 90s and early 2000s. Last month, Rwanda fired on a Congolese military aircraft it alleged violated its airspace. For more international news, here's a roundup.
Regional heads of state have called for an immediate ceasefire by all parties in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. The demand was issued at the end of the East African Community Summit in Burundi following tensions between the DRC and Rwanda.
There must be immediate ceasefire by all political parties. 2, the withdrawal, including all foreign armed groups, and directed the Chief of Defense Forces of all the partner states of the East African Community to meet urgently within the next 1 week and set new timelines for the withdrawal and recommend appropriate deployment matrix in different parts of Eastern DRC.
The calls follow international concern the two countries could slide into all-out conflict as they did 2 decades ago. Last month, Rwanda fired on a Congolese military aircraft that alleged violated its airspace.
Next, the heads of state called upon all parties to respect and implement all the summit decisions and agreed upon themselves that any again violations should be reported immediately, and the summit now will take charge of this process.
Congo accuses Rwanda of supporting the M23 armed group. Rwanda denies this and accuses Congo of backing another rebel group. On his final day in South Sudan, Pope Francis made another appeal for peace in the country. He celebrated Mass on Sunday with thousands of people and, along with other Christian leaders in his delegation, prayed the country would recover from its civil war. Even if our hearts bleed for the wrongs we've suffered, brothers and sisters, he says, let us refuse once and for all to repay evil with evil, and we will grow healthy within. Let us accept one another and love one another with sincerity and generosity as God loves us. Let us cherish the good that we are and not allow ourselves to be corrupted by evil. And the pontiff urged people in South Sudan, the world's youngest country, to lay down their weapons and forgive one another. This country, so beautiful yet ravaged by violence, he says, needs the light that each one of you has, or better, the light that each one of you is. Dear brothers and sisters, I pray that you will be salt that spreads, dissolves and seasons South Sudan with the fraternal taste of the gospel. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, and the moderator of the Church of Scotland, the Right Reverend Ian Greenshields, who joined Pope Francis in South Sudan, accompanied him on the flight back to Rome.
It's now time for sports news. Now in sports news, a great goal from Lauren James helped Chelsea beat Tottenham and return to the top of the Women's Super League. Jay's cutter headed the Blues in front after 7 minutes. However, they were pegged back when Bethany England scored against her former club. James cut inside and fired in off the post to restore Chelsea's advantage before Guro Raitan secured the win. It condemned Spurs to a 6th straight defeat in the league despite Nikola Kazueski's late strike. Chelsea have now won all 7 of their WSL matches against London rivals Spurs. Emma Hayes' side returned to the WSL summit and lead Manchester United by 2 points after they were held at home by Everton. Chelsea are unbeaten in 19 matches in all competitions, having not lost since a 3-2 defeat by Liverpool in their opening game of this season. To end Camnet television news, the headlines once again. 60-year-old bedridden woman of LUSAKA'S MTENDERE compound receives help. Councilors on the COPPERBELT, BEMOAN low salary grade. Bad roads in northwestern province, a ticking time bomb charges CARITAS. In international news, East African leaders demand ceasefire between Congo and Rwanda. And in sports news, Chelsea back on the top of WSL after beating Tottenham. Our Camnet verse of the day is coming from Proverbs 21 verse 4. Haughty eyes and a proud heart, the lamp of the wicked, are sin. Thank you so much for watching Camnet Television News. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Bye-bye.